Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, all the things. We are going forward into a new year with As If by Magic, and it's an exciting time. Actually really missed doing these Facebook Lives with you guys. And we are looking at, before we go into today's topic, we're looking at changing things up in the new year, kind of putting something different together for you guys. So if you have any requests of what would you like to see these Facebook Lives evolve into, would you like a free Facebook group that we get to go in and talk about magic and engage with magic? I would love to hear what you guys are asking for, and what would be really fun for you. Hi, Twy. Oh, it's just 5 people watching. Who's all here? There might be a delay because I don't see anyone except for 12. Okay, new year, new possibilities, creating with magic. I am not sure if you guys caught Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane here did a free call. I think it was January 1st, and they were talking about this being the year of consciousness and this being the year of creation. And that's something I've always loved about the topic of magic, because it's not necessarily a place we go to fix problems, but it's a place we go to engage, to play, and to create with, or at least that's where I go to with it. So so I'd love to tap into this energy of what's possible with creation, creating with consciousness, creating with your magic, and as always, after January, I don't know about you guys, I never did the New Year's resolutions thing. I always thought it was kind of dumb. And then the 1 or 2 times I was talked into it, I never achieved my New Year's resolution. So I do love asking. I do love every year asking. It's like that awareness and that acknowledgement of asking for more and asking for something greater. Hi, Leonie. Now I'm seeing people. Hello. Welcome to the party. So asking for change. And if this is the year of consciousness, what could we ask for that is actually possible now, and faster and easier than we ever imagined possible? One of my asks, my personal asks, is easy. And that's part of what magic gifts to us, is an easy life, is that not just ease. So we have ease during glory. We have ease. So that's ease in any situation. Hi, Nancy. That means the world could be falling apart around you and you can have a sense of ease with it. Now, there's something different called easy. And that's when you drive into a parking lot, there's not a single parking space, and you go, I would love a parking space really close to the entrance. What would it take? And someone just magically pulls out of their spot, and then you happen to be the one there to get it. Easy. Easy life. That's what I'm asking for. I'm asking for easy in every area. Easy with business, easy with body, easy with creation, all over. And the easy that magic brings, which part of that is you have to be willing to acknowledge how easy you have it, and you have to be willing to use your magic. Use your magic as the privilege that it is. Oh, just brought us this up, right? Right, good bed, popcorn, online shorts, boys, yes. Leonie says, happy to be here. Yes, I recently started asking and creating, putting the clearing a little more on the back burner. What a change that has created. Putting the clearing, tell me what you mean by that. I think I'm misunderstanding. I once did a whole series in As If by Magic about, hi, happy 2021, yeah, about magic as privileged. And it was really cool. I didn't know we were going here today. Awesome. It brings up a lot of stuff because we're really told in this reality that privileged is evil and privileged is bad. And privileged means that you have some kind of responsibility now. Thank you, Twy. So those of you that are joining us, there is we see this. I feel like we're already in this magical group that we talked about at the beginning. TheClearingStatement.com is where you can get more information on the clearing statement. Use the clearing statement and as if by magic to clear out energies. When stuff comes up, we clear it out. And that's some of the greatness of access consciousness, is that we can talk about these topics that maybe bring up people's stuff. It brings up energies. It brings up distractor plans, and then we can actually clear it out. Hi, Mark. He says, hello, people, all the best for this wonderful year ahead of us. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about privilege for a second, because I get we need to like just scrape a little bit off. We don't have to go deep. We could scrape a little bit off, and then we could kind of pour into creation a little bit. And I did have a question come in about bodies, so we're going to address that too. Yannick, oh, thank you. I love that you're here. Okay, privilege. So how many of you have bought that to be privileged is evil, terrible, wrong, embarrassing, shameful, and everything else? Everything that is times to God. Don't you just train and create it, please. Right, run, good, bad, talk about only shorts, boys around. So I can't go too much in this format of the privilege of magical folk and non-magical folk. It's like Harry Potter, right? We have the muggles and we have the wizards. And we have people that choose to be a muggle, and they don't have the privilege of magic. They wouldn't get the parking spot. How many of you have people in your life that are absolutely denying the magic that they are? So you seem like the privileged person because you're willing to have what you be. And then do you make yourself wrong for it? Do you diminish it? Do you hide it? Are you shameful? Everything that is times of God. So you just train and create it, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, bot, online, shorts, boys, and beyonds. I may be going a little far here with you guys, and I'm grateful for your willingness to be here and look at this. Heather says, what, like I just happened to hear? Oh, you just happened to be here. And Leonie says, I used to have clearing stuff as the primary tool for change. Didn't do asking or creating a lot. Now I'm asking, creating a lot more. Oh, I get it. And things are showing up as if by magic. So I think what she's saying is we're talking about the clearing statement, and we could run clearings and run clearings and run clearings. And actually, thank you for bringing that up, because I've noticed that with people. They're like, well, I've been running this clearing every day for 30 days, but they're not actually willing to have the change. They're not actually willing to choose something or create something different, but they're running the clearing, and that's a doing. So they're doing something, but they're not willing to be something different. So what can we be different this year that allows us to be as magical as we actually are and have that easy life, or whatever it is that you're asking for? So what are you asking for in 2021? What are your asks? I had a really cool conversation with my two little kids. We were having dinner, and sometimes we just have little chats. And I was like, well, what are your asks for 2021? And one kid had a few of things that they would like to attain, like different toys or different things that they would really like. And the other one was like, I don't really have any asks. And I'm like, okay. And then I asked the little one, well, is there anything that you're asking for that would impact the world? And he was like, whoa, no. And I said, well, would you like to impact the world? Would you like to create change this year? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, what could we ask for? What could we ask for that would impact the world? Really, then the other one chipped in and he had ideas, and we started to ask for things that we've never asked for before. It was really cool. So what are we all asking for that would impact the world? Now, that doesn't mean you can't ask for a new vehicle or a new home or things that appear, and I'm going to say appear, to be just for you, because in the ocean of oneness, if you gain something that gives you more of your being, everyone gains something that gives them more of their being. So it can appear like it's just for you, but I'm also looking at what are these big asks that we could be asking for with the easiness that magic can bring that's going to impact the world. So when we're here together in 2022, we can go, whoa, that was a wild, magical, wonderful ride. And the world is very different. So Leonie says, Heather says, oh, privileged of magic, yeah. And Heather says, how about, like you said, we denied it, a fear of being judged, killed, rejected? Absolutely. And that's part of what we do in these If by Magic membership is we go layer into layer into layer of all of this, because so many humanoids are terrified to be as magical and as powerful as they are. And we have done all sorts of intricate, interconnected, bizarre, brilliant things to keep us from ever truly knowing how magical we are and ever truly having access to the easy magical life that we could have. And part of that is to allow those fears to come up. So bring up the topics, engage in the things that allow those secret things to come up, and then you clear them out. And you clear them out and you clear them out, and then you choose it anyways. So be fearless in your willingness to choose more of you. And be willing to be rejected and killed and judged. To have no resistance of it, but to have total awareness of it and choice of it. Because nothing happens to you. You choose everything. You create everything. So are you choosing to be killed this lifetime? Are you choosing to be judged? Are you choosing to be rejected? Leonie is choosing for rock solid abs. That's what she's choosing. I contribute to that. How's it get any better? I hope you're doing some like before photos, because that's always fun to really see the change. And what if it could be so easy? What if it could be so easy? What if bodies were a lot easier to change than we've been told? Yep. And what if this reality's idea of what's required to change bodies doesn't always apply to you and your body? Oh goodness, this conversation about the abs is hilarious. So going down, I just want to read this for everyone if you're not seeing it. Joanna says, Leonie, maybe you already have, just not super visible right now. And Leonie says, my abs will change the world as they will change mine. And she said, they are. Thank you for noticing. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, so how many of us are asking for a more playful, joyful, happy living? What if changing the world was you could have a lot of happiness with it? It didn't have to be serious. It didn't have to be. I watched a talk show this morning, and it was really cool. It was really dynamic. It was very intensive and very, very serious. And I'm like, man, if they would have just once laughed a little bit, this would have created so much more change for people. If they would have allowed themselves to get to the lightness. So anywhere you're not allowing yourself to get to the lightness, because change is supposed to be hard. Consciousness is supposed to be hard. Because if you weren't making it hard, then you would be exposing how magical you are. Will you just try to create that, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all men, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Heather, I'm having a hell of a time changing my body. It just wants to keep hanging on to excess fat, which I've never had. I can't figure it out. Who am I hiding? Who or what I'm possibly hiding from? Great question. Heather says, asking for financial freedom to create more, bigger, and create more greatness of me and those around me. Cool. Awesome. I love this. And Another thing that Dane said recently that just really, really resonated with me is that which you engage with will grow. Okay, so if you are engaging, if you are looking at, let's take for example, excess, like there's fat cells on your body that you don't desire to have there. Okay, and you're engaging with them every day. You're checking, are they still there? Did they shrink? Did they grow? Why are they there? How do they look when I wear this outfit? You're engaging with the fat cells, and that which you engage with grows. Uh-oh, that which you ignore disappears. So if you are engaging, so now let's take your body. What if you're engaging every day with the phenomenons of it, with the sexualness of it, with the beauty of it? What if every day you're engaging with how precious and gorgeous it is? Would those undesired cells diminish, melt away, disappear? Leonie, she is engaging with her six pack, her rock hard abs, the strength, the muscle, the power of that with her body, and the joy of her choosing that. So that will grow. Those muscles will grow. They will get more defined. They will want to be seen. Everything you engage with grows. And that's one of, and I didn't know this at the time, but part of where I knew I had to talk about magic, even though it was a little bit taboo. Some people found it really woo woo. It was a weird conversation. I knew for me that I had to be engaging with magic every day of my life. And I committed to that 3 or 4 years ago because I knew that if I engaged with magic, eventually it was going to grow. And it has. And I've seen it grow. I was, oh my gosh, I was listening to a advertisement on the radio yesterday, and it's for this kids music company that's in town. And they said every child has a magic within them that can come out. And I was like goosebumps. I was like, oh, this is on the radio now. Like we're just talking about magic like it's normal. Like of course everyone has a magic in them. And I acknowledge part of that is those that have been willing to engage with magic because it's growing. The more we engage with it, the more it grows. So we have been, so when I look at that and I just like chills everywhere and so much joy and excitement. And then I look at my asks for the next year and to amp that up, like what would it be like to have 10,000 people in a group together engaging with magic every single day? What would that create on the planet? What would it take to have, you know, a couple thousand people in a room in an as if by magic class, facilitating, receiving, being with this topic? And up here, Heather said, terrified of our magic. Yeah, time to turn it the fuck up. Exactly. So imagine thousands of people in a room turning up their magic uncontrolled. Yeah, these are some of my asks. These are some of my asks, and I know that they will impact the world when I actualize them. And it's so exciting and it's so inspiring. Leonie says, yes, I am. My abs are super happy. I love this. I love this ab conversation. Heather says, I'm doing much of those engagings, not being in a space of judgment, asking my body what it is that you feel you require, that you feel that you require this fat. Right and wrong, good and bad, back and bad, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Feels so much better when we did have a six pack, ab and muscles. Yeah. And anywhere that we're making, anywhere you're making the fat even relevant. So that if it has a relevance and it has, if it's even drawing your attention, then you're engaging with it. Ignore it. It doesn't even exist. Ignore it. Ignore it. It will become unexistent. especially if you're willing to engage with what you're actually asking to create. So what are you guys asking to create? And would you be willing to create with your tool of magic that makes it easy? How much money would you like to create, generate, and actualize this year? And not from definition, just get a sense of it. Okay, would you be willing to apply magic? Would you be willing to have it that easy? If you get a no, look at that, clear that, play with that. If you get a yes, ooh, I can't wait to see what you create. Heather says uncontrolled magic. Now that sounds fun. Yeah, me too. You know, there's a lot of shows with magic, and there's this underlining point of view of like controlling your powers, controlling your magic. And once they get it under control, then they have the peace and the ease with it. And I just want to clear those implants out, because what if everything is the opposite it appears to be, nothing is the opposite it appears to be? And what if it's when you're out of control with it is when you actually have the peace and the ease with it? And when you're trying to control it is when you don't have that peace, you don't have that ease. Heather says, I'm going to switch gears. Woo! And Leonie says, so true what you say, Cassie. I've been judging my belly a lot for the fat that's over my abs. Also judge abs exercise is difficult. What if you asked your body, hey, what's something fun that we could choose that would allow these abs to be visible? What could we choose today? What would be fun? What could we choose today that would allow these abs to be visible? What could we choose today that would strengthen and allow these abs to be more defined? And just the play and the joy you're having with it, Leonie, is such a great step. It like our bodies are here as a joyful for many things, but one of them is to actually have a joyful experience. I don't know about you, but when I'm having like just orgasmic food that's just like you get a sensation in every molecule of your body. I can't have that without a body. It's really joyful. It's really pleasurable. What if bodies are here to actually gift us a lot more pleasure than we've been willing to have? Now it's different because that's not what we're taught, that's not what we're implanted with. And you can apply, so now we're talking about creation, so you actually get to create your body. You create it every single day. Your body is a malleable, moving creation. And if you allow yourself to be magic with that creation, then anything is possible beyond genetics, beyond age, beyond gender, beyond anything you've been told. And then he says, drop the judgment on the exercise and now it's easy. Yay! Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I actually really enjoy working out, and my body does as well. It's really fun, and been gifting that pleasure to my body again, and just physically feeling it really incredible. Yona says, yes, like, I cannot pronounce that, Vartenhelst Marvel. She says, I have been fighting with one hand behind my back. Yes, Captain Marvel. Is that Captain Marvel? Yes, I think it's Captain Marvel. I freaking love the end of that. I think I need to rewatch that. You just inspired me. Yeah, it's so powerful, and just acknowledging that how many of us have been, and we don't need to fight, but how many of us have been creating our lives with one hand behind our back, or two hands and two legs? The easy is going to come if you allow yourself to have all of you. Heather says, me and my body really miss training the horses. That created so much and so many levels for us. And sometimes something that I no longer have, I don't have funds access. Okay, cool. So are you asking to create that this year? If you are, what would it take? And that's part of like the first part of starting to create something is just to ask, get a sense of it, get a sense of what would it be like to be working with horses. And I wouldn't even say again, because it's going to be different now because you're different. So what would it be like right now in my life if I was working with horses? And then allow that, whatever you're perceiving, allow it to like, allow yourself to become that energy. Okay, cool. So you go there and then you go and you start to ask for some energies. I would love to have, you know, people on the farm that are really grateful and gentle and welcoming. And I would love to have, you know, horses to work with that are willing to receive some of the magic that I am, and maybe they could even facilitate me and show me some of my capacities. And oh, I would love, and you start to like get a sense of all these energies, and then you allow it to seep into your world. You don't keep it out here as this unattainable future. Bring it in and become it. Become those energies now. And then you ask, okay, what would it take? What would it take? And not from, I need to figure out the how. You're asking, what would it take to get a sense of, you might need to change something. You maybe you, and Heather, I'm not speaking about you personally because I don't actually know the whole story, but maybe you have a wall up. Or maybe you, maybe there's a conclusion like, oh, I don't have the money, so I can't, right? What do you have to change? So when you ask, what would it take to have this? Because magic is applied instantly. You ask for something, it's applied. It's already created. But now what you're asking is, what do you need to get out of the way so you can have what you just asked for? So for some of us, it's like, okay, so what do I need to get out of the way? So what would it take? You might get an awareness of all the stuff you need to get out of the way. What would it take? Might be an awareness of a creation. It might be, oh, I need to actually connect with someone. Maybe I'll go and you get a sense of like a breadcrumb, a trail you got to follow. What would it take? Could also be an awareness of where you're just not letting yourself have that. You're holding it away, and then you might get the awareness of you're holding it away. So these are, and it can get more complex, and we're coming to the end of the live here today, but part of that generative question is, what would it take, is to get all this awareness so you could clear it out, so you can have the magic that you just created. Because if you tap into the energy of something and it's truly congruent, and it's truly congruent with what you'd like to have, and you ask for it, you have just applied magic. You've just changed the world, because the universe is now changing everything to deliver your request. And the what would it take is to give you the information, and it could just be energy. What would it take of what requires to change so that you can receive what you just asked for? And that's easy. That's really easy. And it doesn't make a lot of cognitive sense, which is part of why we don't believe that it can happen. Money doesn't grow on trees. We know all the implants. Life isn't that easy. Life is hard. You have to work hard, all those things. What would it take? Okay, I would love that. And here's the part is that first part is actually getting clear and congruent, because a lot of times we ask for things we don't actually want. And then when they don't show up, we believe that nothing will show up. So what are you asking for in 2021 that you actually would like to have? What are you asking for in 2021 that could impact the world? What are you asking for in 2021 that would change your reality to something more possible, more magical? Hello, Suzette. And would you apply your magic and have it be that easy? Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna go over these little things, and then we're probably gonna go for today. Oh, Johanna says, my body feels like feels more like a tired and sad. I'm going to choose more joy and ease and sensual pleasures, the curious exploration. Yay, that's awesome. Yeah. And it's not so there's a difference between ignoring something or negating something, okay? So never negate. So if you perceive that tiredness and that sadness, I'm not saying negate it, like fake it till you make it, pretend it's not there. What I mean ignore is that you're not pouring your energy into it. So yesterday I had this huge like wave of exhaustion. I was like, oh my God, I feel like I could pass out right now. So I could have pretended like, nope, and then just gone on and pushed my body. So I didn't negate it. I was like, okay, I'm really aware of this. And I'm really aware that it's not mine. I did some clearings and I was still aware of it. And then I was like, okay, so what would I like to put my attention on that's going to create something greater for me? And then I started to choose those things. And then the tiredness disappeared because I was in the motion of creating my day, of creating living that day. And I ignored it, although I was aware of it. Make sense? Okay, I hope so. Lanny says, used to bind all my limbs behind me. And Heather says, I'm asking to create as well this year and have for the past 6 years a national level multi-champion trainer. Oh, that sounds kind of sexy. I don't even totally know what that means, but I'm liking it. We got energy pulls. What would it take? Thank you for the energy pulls. Thank you guys for being here. Yeah, so I kind of brought this up at the beginning of this, and for those of you that join us a little bit later, I have this really weird hair. I want to acknowledge it, and then I'm going to ignore it, and it keeps doing this. Super crazy. So it's driving me crazy. And now I'm going to ignore it. Tools in action, kids. So I had an amazing crate meeting with my team yesterday. We're looking to invite some new people on our team and create something totally different this year that we have never created before and As If by Magic. We would love to know, what would you like to see with these weekly lives? What would you like to see with As If by Magic? What are you guys aware of? What are you asking for? Because I know what I'm asking for and what my team is asking for. I have a sense of what As If by Magic is asking for. And I'd love to know, what are you guys asking for with magic? And what would you like to see with As If by Magic, with me, and all of this in this next year? What can we create together? So to be honest, I don't know if there'll be a weekly live next week. We're in the create board. We don't really, but I imagine like a whiteboard, and we're writing down ideas and stuff, but it's more like in my head or in my awareness. And so we're coming together to create something really special for you guys, where we can maybe go a little bit further than we're going here and be that engagement with magic to impact the world. So thank you guys. Any curiosities, please, you can put them here. You can message us directly at As If by Magic. We have an email, mages.asifbymagic@gmail.com. You can message us here on Messenger. You can private message me. You can put it right here in the chat. I would love to know, what are you asking for with As If by Magic? It's such a cool energy. And if we know that, then maybe we could deliver it. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Grateful for all of you. Thank you for being here. And what else is possible for 2021 with you, with your magic, with living As If by Magic, and with the easiness that your magic can provide. Bye for now, wizards.